What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Nintendo Hypecast. It's a new podcast. I've been working on it for, it seems like forever. I had this idea that I need to make more friends. I shared an article about like my depression and all this stuff. Life is hard. It's getting me down. But gaming and connecting with all of you guys is like one of the best parts. It's one of the things that keeps me going, and I really appreciate it. I want to thank everybody who came together to make this new experimental show. It's a variety show. When you're listening, there's different segments, things are going to change, surprises around every corner, but nothing dangerous. So don't freak out. I want to thank Sean Capri, Joseph Moran, Tammy, Clay Howard, all the people who came together to help produce the show, give me ideas, give me feedback. I want to thank especially Adam Leonhardt from Megadads. He's a featured guest, and it's going to be great. And the best part is, if you want to be part of the show, you can be. I'm sure that people out there have ideas for a podcast segment, just something that you really like to speak on. Maybe you're an expert at it. Most importantly, I want to pull in people who want to just have fun. This show is not all informational, it's not all confrontational, it's just about having a good time. So if you're into that, I hope you enjoy this. It's all part of the Nintendo Village, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. I want to thank everybody who writes for the Nintendo Village. We have reviews. We're going to soon come out with a lot more podcast content, but we have a lot of podcasts on there that are tailored for everything from strictly Game Boy to just Nindies and Nindy Nation. So I want to thank everybody who's part of the Nintendo Village. Go ahead and Google us, visit the website, and we have the YouTube channel as well. You can find everything there. It's your home for everything Nintendo. I want to thank Gary Gray. I want to thank Phil Myth for founding it and keeping it alive. It's an exciting time. Again, this is really hard. I put my heart and soul into it, and I don't know. I just want to have a good time, and I want to have a good time with you guys. So get hyped.
What's up, Hypes? It's your boy Speculor here, coming up from the deep, dark web to drop the nastiest, stain-resistant, yet remarkably soft, rampant speculations and rumors on you. Our first rumor, and rumor has it, and it's huge, that a mystery port is coming to the Switch this summer, which is perfect timing, because I thought the port drought would never end. But seriously though, Panic Button, the team that has brought Rocket League, Doom, Wolfenstein the New Colossus to the Switch, has one more ace in the hole. Which hole? Wouldn't you like to know? Well, they say it's Warframe, but I think they got one more, and that's Dishonored. Or Prey. But hopefully it's Dishonored, because let's be honest, Dishonored, amazing. Especially Dishonored 1 and Dishonored 2. Oh my goodness. And how awesome would it be able to play those games on the Switch? So luckily, that game's going to be coming out this summer. I can guarantee it. Now our second rumor, and this one's pretty huge. Speaking of ports, I wonder what could possibly help us hold us over while we wait for more news on Metroid Prime 4. That's right, your boy here is ready to drop down money that we're going to see Samus return, Metroid Samus Returns hit the Switch later this year. Would we rather get a Metroid Prime trilogy? Of course we would. But you know what? It's not going to happen because Nintendo's Nintendo. But hey, you know what? We get Metroid somehow, right? So this is our final rumor, and it's rumor numero 3. Finally, outgoing president of Nintendo, Tatsumi Kimishima, told stockholders that Nintendo hasn't fully disclosed its 2018 lineup yet. You know what that means. Animal Crossing Switch confirmed. For real, Nintendo, stop toying with us, okay? We need more Tom Nook. Please. But thankfully it's gonna happen because I'm Speculor and you can trust me because my face is blurred out and my voice is distorted. You'll never know who I am. Yeah, I know, it's anonymous. I'm crazy like that. So with that, that's all I got for you this week. Until next time, everybody, keep your hopes high and your ear to the ground.
after E3, everybody was talking about Animal Crossing. They're like, and Nintendo dropped the ball, right? It was right there. Everybody was on 3/4 chub, ready to go full chub, and they didn't talk about Animal Crossing. We did a very unscientific poll, and it just seemed like that's what was missing. And Adam, you were talking about it. You said, "Where is it? Where's the special game?"
My tears have been flowing.
I'm an Animal Crossing noob, right? So I had to tap somebody who is familiar with the franchise. Because I tried the mobile game that recently came out and like dropped it after a couple logins. Count. Doesn't count. It's not one of them. But I know nothing about the series. So tell me why Animal Crossing, like why is that so important as a franchise to Nintendo?
Animal Crossing, I mean, I don't care how important it is to Nintendo. Screw those guys. How important it is to me as a human being, as a man. Animal Crossing for the GameCube hit me at like the perfect time when I was still in my youth, I was still in my prime, and I could just play whenever the hell I wanted to. And this game like plays on that with that real-time calendar deal, you know, with if you go on at Christmas, there's Christmas events. If you go on at midnight, it's midnight in the game. So when that game hit, it was like such an engrossing experience where if I wanted to do a certain thing at a certain part of the calendar, I could just do it. And I lived in that game for months and months and months. The characters are awesome. You can teach them how to swear, which of course, being a mega dad, that's very important to me. If I can teach my Nintendo characters to call me dildo, then I will do it. Not many games let you do that in the Nintendo cabinet. But yeah, it's a Zen game, you know? It's so relaxing to just go in there and live in a world that's way better than your own. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't go outside on a Sunday and buy turnips from a pig. Like, it just doesn't happen in real life. And Animal Crossing affords me the luxury of living in that world. It's a unique experience for sure.
The warm embrace of family members when you don't want to deal with your actual family on Christmas Eve is like super appealing to me. It's 1-to-1 game clock, is that right? So you have to be literally on at real night in your time zone.
The game runs on in your console's internal clock. So when it's New Year's Eve and the clock, strikes 12, it's New Year's Eve in Animal Crossing. And I mean, obviously you can game the system by screwing with your internal settings, but man, you're talking about those characters, and that's it. Like, you grow attached to certain characters in your town, and while the objectives and the tasks might be mundane, it's all about living in that world. And like you said, they go along with you. So day after day, you're going to walk out the front door, and there's that duck, and he wants peaches, and so you're going to go shake down some trees to get this duck some peaches so that he stays. It's just, it's so good. So good.
Now, if you had to say what was key to Animal Crossing, something that they can't touch, like that makes it the game, what would you say it was? Just if you had to have like a top 3.
A top 3? Okay, well, character is like the big one. I can still remember certain characters in my original town on the GameCube to this day by name. And it's just the fact that you get to go over to their house and help them redecorate or do tasks for them or write them letters. Like, there was so much personalization in that game. And the characters were a big part of that because you could design clothes for them and you could give them catchphrases. So character stays for sure. I would say probably the Tom Nook shop, being able to go in there and there was like a daily rotation of items. So every day he would have like a different set of things for you to buy. So shopping was a big thing. So I would definitely keep Tom Nook's store, has to be the same. And then one thing that I'm going to go back to the original because they actually got rid of this in further games out. But the original had emulators. So you could get an NES for your house and play the entirety of Excitebike or Donkey Kong. And they took all those out in later games because obviously Virtual Console, they wanted to sell them back to you.
That sounds fantastic.
The original Animal Crossing on the GameCube had so many different, and there were rare items, you couldn't just buy it. You had to find it. But you could put an NES in your house and legit boot up old NES games, much like, the NES Classic. And unfortunately, they took it out, but I would say you'd have to put it back, because that's rad. Like, that's totally awesome.
Well, that's going to do it for all of us here at Channel 4 News. You stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Damn it! Who typed a question mark on the teleprompter? For the last time, anything you put on that prompter, Burgundy will read.
Hi guys, my name's Tammy. I have been poached, I would say, from a Discord, and I am here to read your tweets live, and we look out for posts on the Nintendo Village Twitter account and get you guys in on the action. This week we want to hear from the Animal Crossing fans and ask what makes the franchise so great, and what would you like to see in an Animal Crossing game on a Nintendo Switch? We shall see. So I've got here a Mr. Eric Hunt. He wrote in and he said, people draw similarities to Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, which there are a lot. Stardew Valley is a lot more focused. You have more quest-specific things that you're working towards and you need to get done. The progression in Animal Crossing is so natural and hides all of the counters and stats, so all you focus on is the game. When you unlock something, it just happens and it's a delightful surprise. It makes it much more relaxing and rewarding in that way. So yeah, thank you, Eric. Nicholas Burback from the Nintendo Voice Chat Podcast Forum writes, for a Switch version, I'd like it if you could send mail to other players over the internet. Send them items or just letters, even if they don't appear until the next day. I also think there should be something like a community centre or some way for villagers to have hobbies, certain days of the week or hours of the day. They show up and it's a gym for the sporty ones, a music hall for the snooty ones, etc., just to give something substantial for them to talk about and have it actually take place in a game. It would also be interesting if the villagers built relationships with each other. They can be acquaintances, best friends, frenemies, etc., and you can mend their relationships when two of them have a misunderstanding. That's quite interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. I do. So thank you for that, Nicholas. And then we've got here Carlos Villera. Sorry if I butchered your name. Whose gamer tag is, oh no, Metayoshi? Yeah, Matayoshi says, I'm someone who really values the peace and quiet in life, so Animal Crossing gave that to me. AC is meant to be relaxing, it's not about winning or losing. You don't even have to do everything in the game asks you to. You can catch all the bugs, you can catch all the fish, you can build your own house, and you can do none of those things. Maybe you just like messing around with the villagers. Maybe you like collecting different fruit from your friends' towns. Also, when he was 14, when the original AC game came out, I enjoyed the stress-free, slower pace that this game provided. There was a point I remember I left the game on to listen to music when doing homework. I was about to say that. I used to do that too. I also don't know how many people remember this, but the GameCube Animal Crossing also had NES games. You could literally get games like Balloon Fight and Donkey Kong to put on in your house. Finally, at Jello Cube, O with a 0 instead of an O, on Twitter, and they said, one of the favourite things about Animal Crossing is pacing. Since it's set to real life days, I'm not tempted to rush through as fast or efficiently as I can, which can burn me out. I'm looking at you, Stardew Valley. Brilliant. If relaxing is optional, I cannot be trusted. I am with you there, Jello Cube. I am with you there. That's me. That's me reading your comments from the little places of the interwebs. My name is Tammy, and hope to see you guys soon. Bye.
Okay, so E3 is happening, right? If you're Nintendo and you're doing your direct and it's E3 time, what's on screen? What do they say? Is it the Asian man with the white background? What did you want to see Nintendo do? Logo reveal?
If this is like pie in the sky, this is how I announce Animal Crossing.
This is what we're about on this show, man. Get hyped. Get me hyped.
All right, here we go. Here we go. It's a black screen, right? And it's quiet for like far too long than it should be. And then you hear a ahem, ahem, and this acoustic strumming. And you're like, who's playing the guitar? And you hear a da-da-da-da, you know, the music starts chiming in. And then all of a sudden, ow! and it's like, holy crap, it's KK! It's KK Slider! And you still can't see anything. But KK is speaking in his weird MIDI digitized singing voice, and he's like, and everybody just instantly craps their pants because they know. And then spotlight, boom, shines on KK, and he's sitting on his stool in the cafe, and he's just playing to, like, they have like the whole cast of characters sitting on benches or sitting at the bar listening to KK. And as he sings the song, like, the camera pans out the door and goes high in the sky to a big old crane cam of the entire village, and all the characters are like walking around and catching butterflies, and they're fishing, and then flash that logo up, and it's boom, Animal Crossing Switch. And that's all they do. They don't need to show any more gameplay. It's just a big old cinematic intro unveiling, and I would die. I would just die on the spot.
I am hyped. That's it. You sold it. Like, made it 1 billion copies. You know what's weird about that, too? So, on PlayStation's conference, when they had those little, like, musical numbers in the, like, the beginning, if they did that same thing, that would have been so weird if they just had somebody in, like, a big, like, furry suit. Just, like, there, and the dog just, costume. Like, playing. Yeah. Yep. Oh, my God. That's
I understand that this is not the big blockbuster that, you know, a Zelda or a Mario is, but the people that do love Animal Crossing are such devoted super fans, and if you announce something like that and you made it cute and cinematic enough to appeal to non-Animal Crossing players, like, I really think you could rope in a lot of people.
That's the thing I was going to ask you about. Making it mainstream. That's something that people want to do to make that snatch, that little money, right? You know what I mean? Nintendo's a struggling company. They really need some revenue fast, right? They need more. They need more coin.
I'm worried about them.
I'm going to throw out a couple ideas for you, okay?
Okay.
What if they introduce time travel into the game, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
So you want to go to your particular time in the event, right, in the calendar, and that's a mainstay. But what if there was an item where you can turn back the clock, and you know how, like, things are growing and you're collecting? If they could implement some type of time travel mechanic, what do you think about that?
I think you just, that's awesome. You make it like Chrono Trigger, where you crank it all the way back and all of a sudden there's dinosaurs in your village. Oh, or you go way into the future and it's like the apocalypse, and Tom Nook is living in this like steel shed, and he's got like a lightsaber just fending off like this evil robot army that is invaded. Just crank it up, do it.
So you have the relationships with people, right? But there's nothing sexual going on yet. Not yet in the franchise. If you could,
there's fan fiction, but
written by you.
Yeah. I'll email it over.
What do you think of a relationship system where it's a little bit more, you know, maybe you're not, you know, rolling in the sack, but, you know, you have a little significant other, you want some sheep action, you could go steady with the sheep for a little while, you know, you could do the 3 little piglets, you know, go on some nice dates. What do you think of that? A little bit more mature.
I think you're kind of you're teetering on bestiality there, but I think you could have a system in place where maybe you're playing matchmaker for the other townspeople.
There we go.
So maybe it's like a harmony kind of thing, and you're like, there's this duck over here, and there's this squirrel over here, and they got nothing else to do, so you set them up. I think that could be potentially cool. And then they could move in with each other, have little ducklings, little mutant crossbreed babies.
Scale of 1 to 10, how much does this ruin the game, okay? Murder mystery. So you go into the general store, right? All of a sudden, you know, you're just there to buy some more tools, what have you. There's a massacre in there, okay? They got poor Mr. Nook splattered halfway across the wall. So you have to go around interrogating people. You know what I mean? You really, like, put the screws to them. Maybe you do a little, you know, like, interrogation mechanic. You ever play Max Payne? You know what I mean? Just a little drop of Max Payne in there, right?
Yeah, and you're just L.A. Noire.
Yeah, you're like crushing some lamb's head in like a car door for information. Just a little of that. What do you think of that? A little bit of intrigue there, a little bit of drama.
I think you've got something for a really solid minigame, because they got those 2 dog police characters. So maybe you like take control of them for a while, and then you got good cop, bad cop.
There we
go.
Know?
I think that could work.
Like,
anything to improve the narrative, right?
A little bit of noir in there. I mean, they're just like, oh, it's been a hard day.
They're smoking and drinking whiskey.
We lost another one. Shit like this is why it's ruining my marriage. I can't hug my children after seeing this shit. That's what I'm thinking about.
Hello, my name is Clay Howard, and I am trying something new today. So I am going to attempt to beat the very first level of my all-time most favorite game, Donkey Kong Country, for the Super Nintendo. But the big catch here is that I'm not going to be looking at the screen. I'm going to be blindfolded, or rather, I'm going to put my hat over my head with a double secure We Fit You band over top for good measure. I have 10 minutes to complete this, and I will try to complete it as quickly as I can. So we're going to give this a shot. So start me out. That way I can't look any more ridiculous than I do. Alright, I got my controller. I forgot to hit the timer. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. There's a... off to a good start. Yeah. Okay, drop down. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Get the barrel. Oh, that didn't last long. Alright, so I'm just gonna cartwheel here, hoping for the best. Not hitting anything. Okay. Now the problem is there's some pits along the way here. Ooh, there was Ramby. I hear him. If I'm to the... Uh-oh. Okay, that's the vulture. There he is. Come on, man. Get him. I got him. Okay. So after I get Ramby, there is a jump coming up that I have to make. So I guess I'm just gonna hope for the best. Okay. Made it into the... There's an extra life at the end here. Oh, man. Oh, that's good. Alright, come out. If I come back over here, jump over, turn around. I know this game. Alright, there's no way I'm gonna get these. Now, there's some pits coming up, so this could be interesting. Alright, 1. Dang it! So I can't tell if I got a save barrel or not. I think I do. I have no idea where I am. There was Ramby. Oh jeez. Ramby's around here somewhere. Come on, Ramby. That's too far. There you are. Yep, got him. Oh my gosh, I did it! Time. I still had 6 minutes left. Alright, go me. Alright, so that was pretty smooth. It's a pretty straightforward first level. There was that little pit there that got me. Ramby obviously is very helpful. So, alright guys, well thanks for tuning in. Until next time, catch you later.
Real talk, I've been looking at the scores for these games, and it looks like the fan base likes what they like. There's not a whole lot that could change, I think, that would not infuriate the base, right? So you really, maybe you can add a couple new mechanics, hopefully they don't strip anything out, like that cool, in-house Nintendo system you could play. Now, one thing that I was thinking of, as you go from system to system, it looks like they have this art style that it stayed true pretty much through a lot of these iterations. If they had to, if you had to change it up, and I know you're an artist, so this is a perfect question for you, what would you kind of like everything to look like? How far can you go pushing the envelope to make things look different? So like maybe the graphics are a little better. I mean, the Switch isn't a powerhouse, but we're not on a 3DS anymore.
I think the biggest thing they could do is possibly even like one of the easiest things they could do. The thing that Animal Crossing has never strayed away from is that fixed camera position that's way up in the sky. Yeah. And when you play the Animal Crossing course in Mario Kart 8, it becomes so glaringly obvious how great this world could be if you were, a chase camera behind your character and you're able to pan it around and move like a third-person action game. Mm-hmm. I think if they take that camera out of the sky and give you full control so that you're able to, bring it down under the tree canopies and make things a little more dense so it's like actually a forest, because the game was titled Animal Forest, I believe, in Japan or something like that, but make it a little more realistic in the environments, some tall grasses, some bushes, some thicker tree foliage, and drop that camera down like a Mario 64 or a Mario Odyssey kind of thing where you're in control and you can get really close in on those characters. That's what I want, because as much as they can update the visuals, it's still a 3D game, but when you're in that fixed position, it makes it feel old. The Sims had that, and then the Sims 2, you could zoom in and control and pan around more. So I think Nintendo's been stuck in this archaic mold of, the old N64 style camera up in the sky. That's gotta go. Give it a photo mode. I'm huge into photo mode, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Go around to the waterfall and, get some really hyper-realistic water visuals and just snap some photos of the townspeople going fishing and catching the big fish, and that would be great. You could even make that into a mini game. Maybe there's a character in town who's like a photojournalist and you're freelancing for them. Put something in like that into there.
Something extreme that I think was a pretty big deviation from the norm was when the Kirby and Yoshi style went yarn. Do you think that you'd lose a lot of people if you went something like that drastic? Because I could see a lot of potential for how, like, if you imagine like how the seasons would change and snow and leaves would look with something really beautiful. So if not like, like what was the name of the like watercolor game where it was like the wolf and you drew the
like Okami?
Shape? Yeah, like an Okami, straight up like everything looks like a painting, or like everything's like yarn this time, or like everything's like a more Overwatch hyper realistic like cartoon. Like, do you think something like any like crazy Borderlands cell shaded style, can they do that, or is that going to be a deal breaker? You really can't lose people like with changing like how things are looking.
I think if you're really gonna mess with like the visual representation of this world and these characters, I envision something more like Pikmin, where it looks like you're in the real world. Yeah. Whereas Animal Crossing's a very flat, colors and everything's smooth, even though the animals are, furry animals, there's no hair there. I think if you're going to change the visuals up, you do something more like hyper realistic. So you have these really cute characters with fluffy hair, the hair flows in the wind and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And really, Nintendo's been doing great. You look at the Pikmin games, and those things have been beautiful for quite a while. Pikmin 3 was, outstanding in its visuals. So you bring that world to life, I think, more than you hyper stylize it. And then it's just extremely cute. You know what I'm talking about? These cute little animals with giant heads bobbing around, and you just want to reach into the screen and pet them. Oh my God, dude.
I will listen to Nintendo tracks just to chill out, just because I love the nostalgia factor of going back, everything from chiptune to recent stuff. Like if you just go to YouTube and do 100 top Nintendo songs, like Animal Crossing is always in there, and these tracks are just super peaceful, and I think that needs a place in our world so much, just like you need that escapism, like the peaceful factor. I think in this franchise in particular, you're not getting that at, too many other places. I see people with Stardew that I picked up as well and tried, and that's definitely more intense. Everybody eventually gets hooked into being like, it's like Narcos, and you're selling like jars of mayonnaise, and it's all about creating a very strict money making, like gotta
Right.
keep this thing, gotta dig more into the mine. I just felt that pressure. Whereas this game, I hear so much about it's like sit back, relax, and enjoy the animal speak, and it's like a routine, and like there's no pressure.
It is so peaceful to boot that game up in the morning. Let's say you wake up on Sunday morning and it's a nice spring day out. You open the windows, you got a nice breeze coming in. You boot up Animal Crossing, your character walks out the front door. It's raining, so he takes out his umbrella. By the way, you designed the pattern for this umbrella, so, you know, in my case, it's probably a bunch of dicks on there, but whatever. So it's gentle rain, and you walk down to the community center and you read the message board, and there's messages from certain characters. Hey, I'm having a garage sale today. Come on by. It's from 10 in the morning till noon. You look at your watch and it's like, oh, it's 9:55. I think I'll waddle on over there. So you walk by the stream and there's fish jumping in the water and there's butterflies flying around. And you meet a couple friends along the way, so you just say hi in passing. And you go over to the guy's house and he says, come on in, I'm selling some stuff. You walk in, he's selling an acoustic guitar. You wanted that acoustic guitar, so you give him some bells, you pick up that guitar, you bring it home and you just play for a while. And then that's it. That's all it is. And it's just living. It's just easy living. And in regards to that music, I do that exact thing. When I draw or when I'm designing, I cue up music, and there's... For those of you who like Animal Crossing, on YouTube, you just Google relaxing Animal Crossing music, and it's like an hour and a half of just piano and guitar, and it's so relaxing. And that's what this game is. It's just pure chill.
Man, I need that in my life.
Right?
I need to just relax and talk to some little animals. Do you know why you're the only one who's like on the outside of the animal like kingdom? Like why is the villager not like, I would want to be a fox. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
right.
like my warrior spirit animal. Like it'd be cool if like at night you like transformed into an animal.
Yeah.
You're leading like a double life. What's with that? I'm just saying as an option. Why not?
That would be a really cool option if they let you design your own animal. You know, they've never explained that. At the start of each Animal Crossing game, when you create your town and you assign your name, you're just moving in. And they just say, oh yeah, you're new in town, blah, blah, blah. But they never really explain it. It's just kind of weird. I think to be able to design your own species, your own creature, maybe you want to be a woodpecker. Maybe you want to be a tree frog. I think that would be outstanding. That's a really good idea.
It just seemed more fun to me to be one of the animals. And then the crazy look of the villagers, no matter how much you customize that thing, there's always that like... weird, like, I will murder you,
they've got
like
the
stare.
Muppet nose. And
yeah, that triangle nose thing, like, drives me nuts. I don't know why. I'm just saying.
You know what? And you're not wrong. In the Wii version, in City Folk, you could actually go into the city, you take the bus to the city, and you could buy a mask that was your me face. So your character running around town would be your me head, which is my head. So I did that, because I'm like, I don't need this rectangle nose and these weird creepy eyes. So I did that, and that was a step up slightly, but I think your idea is even better.
So you're wearing someone else's face?
You're wearing, yeah, it's a little Hannibal Lecter, but whatever.
Mission accomplished. You got me hyped for Animal Crossing. Now I can't wait either. Bring it, Nintendo. We need it. Like crap.
We need it.
Thank you for joining me, Adam.
I got the shakes, man. They're back. I was over this, and then you called me, and now I'm just like... I'm going to be huddled up on the floor for the next 4 hours thinking about turnips and bells.